25th of March 2024. Dear friends, since the amendment in EPS wide GSR 609 dated 22/8/2014 was not placed by EPFO before the SC in all the 10 special leave petitions decided against EPFO on 31/3/2016, Majid Kunj and others, 12/7/2016, Austin Joseph and others, all pre 1/9/2014 superannuated cases, and 4/10/2016, R.C. Gupta and others, the two-judge bench in para 10 of the judgment dated 24/8/2021 in special leave petition 865859/2019 EPFO versus Sunil Kumar referred the matter to three-judge bench seeking specific decision on following two issues. That is, scope was precisely limited to following issues: A. Whether there would be a cut-off date under paragraph 11(3) of the Employees Pension Scheme. B. Whether the decision in R.C. Gupta would be the governing principle on the basis of which all these matters must be disposed of. Please read para 44(1), 44(5) and 44(9) of the judgment dated 4/11/2022 very carefully. 44(1). The provisions contained in the notification number GSR 609E dated 22nd August 2014 are legal and valid. So far as present members of the fund are concerned, we have read down certain provisions of the scheme as applicable in their case, and we shall give our findings and directions on these provisions in the subsequent subparagraphs. So, all the directions in para 44 are meant for only those who were affected adversely due to amendments in GSR 609 dated 22/8/2014, that is, post 1/9/2014 pensioners. Direction numbers 44(2) to 44(4) and 44(6) to 44(9) are meant for only those who were members of EPS as on 1/9/2014 and either superannuated on attaining the age of 58 on or after 1/9/2014 or who are still members. 44(5). The employees who had retired prior to 1st September 2014 without exercising any option under paragraph 11(3) of the pre-amendment scheme have already exited from the membership thereof. They would not be entitled to the benefit of this judgment. Direction numbers 44(5) is for only those who were to superannuate on attaining the age of 58 years on or after 1/9/2014 but had exited, retired, not superannuated prior to 1/9/2014. That is, this direction will affect only those who were to attain 58 years of age on or after 1/9/2014 but had exited by availing early pension withdrawal benefit scheme certificate, etc. Therefore, those who superannuated on attaining the age of 58 years prior to 1/9/2014 are not affected at all by this direction, particularly in view of 44(1). In EPS, superannuation pension is for those who continue as a member of EPS till attaining the age of superannuation 58 years. Early pension case are those who avail early pension prior to attaining the age of superannuation, that is 58 years. Exit cases are those who exit the membership prior to attaining age of 58 years, that is, by availing withdrawal benefit scheme certificate, etc. 44(9). We agree with the view taken by the division bench in the case of R.C. Gupta Supra so far as interpretation of the proviso to paragraph 11(3) pre-amendment pension scheme is concerned. The fund authorities shall implement the directives contained in the said judgment within a period of 8 weeks, subject to our directions contained earlier in this paragraph. So, the judgment dated 4/10/2016 containing the ratio decidendi has to rule the field in all such cases. Pension of pre-1/9/2014 superannuated cases had been implemented wide circular dated 23/3/2017 after following due process of law with the approval by CBT and MOL and E. This benefit had been denied to similar pensioners from exempted Ests wide circular dated 31/5/2017 in para 37 to 39 of the judgment dated 4/11/2022 Sunil Kumar case. This issue has also been settled. So, circular dated 23/3/2017 should be applicable on this category too. Gist: post 1/9/2014 cases are to be governed by R.C. Gupta judgment dated 4/11/2022, in whose cases the same was not implemented, subject to directions contained in para 44 2 to 9 of Sunil Kumar judgment dated 4/11/2022 and pre-1/9/2014 cases, unexempted and exempted, are to be governed by R.C. Gupta judgment dated 4/11/2022, which has already been implemented, wide circular dated 23/3/2017, after following the due process of law and approval by CBT 19/12/2016 and Ministry of Law and Employment 16/3/2017 in RO cases from unexempted assets. The ratio decidendi of R.C. Gupta case is contained in the decree dated 4/10/2016 has to rule the field in all cases, whether pre-19/2014 or post-19/2014, as mentioned in the gist above by following decisions. Certified copy of the decree can be accessed at the link 11xxx. At best, what the Provident Commissioner could do and which we permit him to do under the present order is to seek a return of all such amounts that the concerned employees may have taken or withdrawn from their provident fund account before granting them the benefit of the provision to clause 11(3) of the pension scheme. Once such a return is made, in whichever cases such return is due, consequential benefits in terms of this order will be granted to the said employees. 12. Consequently, and in light of the above, we allow these appeals and set aside the order of the division bench of the High Court, and this court doth further order that this order be punctually observed and carried into execution by all concerned. Surprisingly, EPFO has totally ignored the above ratio decidendi in its circular dated 29/12/2022 and 25/1/2023, issued while implementing 4/11/2022 judgment, whereas the content of the decree were applied while seeking approvals from PEIC 8/12/2016, CBT 19/12/2016 in their respective agendas, and also in the proposal dated 10/1/2017 submitted by EPFO to Ministry of Labor and Employment. The proposal was approved by Ministry of Labor and Employment wide letter dated 16/3/2017, and then EPFO issued the circular dated 23/3/2017 for allowing the benefit to pre-19/2014 retirees, all petitioners herein. Similar procedure as directed in 4/11/2022 judgment for post-19/2014 cases was applied while implementing R.C. Gupta judgment wide circular dated 23/3/2017 in RO pre-19/2014 cases of unexempted EPFO was fully aware of the fact that the ratio decidendi of R.C. Gupta judgment was applicable to all EPS pensioners where pre-19/2014 retirees or post-19/2014 retirees are serving employees and belonging to unexempted and exempted sets. Both and the same has also been reflected in the paras 2.8, 2.9 and 3.2 of the reply submitted by Dr. V.P. Joy, IAS, the then CPFC EPFO, by way of an affidavit dated 9/1/2018. In the contempt petition number 1816/1817 of 2017 in R.C. Gupta case, para 2.8 extracts, it is stated that besides HPTDC, there are many other similar establishments whose employers were contributing on full salary and eligible for revision of pension, and cases of retired employees of these establishments are also being revised. Para 2.9 extracts, it is stated that in cases where member is still in service, the amount is being diverted on receipt of option, and in case where the employee has retired and withdrawn their PF, in those cases they are being asked to deposit the differential amount, the differential between the amount calculated at 8.33% of the actual salary. Para 3.2 extracts, it is stated that in cases where members are still in service, the amount is being diverted on receipt of option, and in cases where the employees have retired and withdrawn their provident fund, they are being asked to deposit the differential amount on actual salary, being the difference in the amount calculated at 8.33% of the actual salary and the amount contributed by the employer at 8.33% on the ceiling limit of 6,500 and the interest. Para 3.13 extracts, Ministry of Labor and Employment wide letter dated 16/3/2017 conveyed its approval to allow members of the Employees Pension Scheme 1995 who had contributed on higher wages exceeding the statutory wage ceiling of rupees 6,500 in the Provident Fund to divert 8.33% of the salary exceeding 6,500 to the pension fund with up to date interest as declared under EPF scheme 1952 from time to time to get the benefit of pension on higher salary on receipt of joint option of the employer and employee. For further details on above and for downloading any other related document, please read pages number 1 to 9 and see table in my earlier post dated 21/3/2024 by clicking the link. Praveen Kohli.